Well, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel is changing the face of the Middle East with its military campaign against Iran. He also hasn't ruled out killing Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, saying that his death would end the conflict. Take a listen.
We've eliminated Iran's security leadership, including 3 chiefs of staff, the commander of their air force, 2 heads of intelligence services, 2 of which were killed yesterday, the army and the Revolutionary Guards. We've struck their chief of operations. We're eliminating them one after one. And our hand can still reach further. We're changing, as I said, on the first day of the war, we're changing the face of the Middle East. And this can bring radical changes in Iran itself. Iranians understand the regime is much weaker than they thought. They realise it, and that could lead to results.
Well, for more on this story, we're joined by Yoram Schweitzer, former intelligence officer and current head of the Institute for National Security Studies Programme on Terrorism and Low-Intensity Conflict. Thank you very much for speaking to us on France 24.
Thank you for inviting me.
We've just heard then from Netanyahu praising this kind of one-by-one killing of Iran's top military officials. Israel's had a long history of this kind of strategy. Can you tell us about that?
I'm not sure that what the Prime Minister implied or stated that Israel is going for the head of Khamenei. I think that Israel, as part of a whole strategy against Iran, which attacked Israel twice this year, or decided to preempt the Iranian approachment closely to manufacturing atomic bombs. And thus, Israel started this preemption and had a strategy that part of it is decapitation of the heads of the army, Revolutionary Guards, and the pillars of knowledge of the scientists.
But do you think that this strategy really works to deter Israel's rivals? I mean, whether it's Hamas or Hezbollah, when a top official is killed, another one takes his place. So what kind of damage is this doing?
Again, this is not the only or the exclusive or the superior aim of this strategy. It's part of it, and as part of it, it may be effective. I think that in this case of Iran, which is a country, it's not a terror organization. It's a country that sponsors terrorism, that imposed terrorism, addressed terrorism against Israeli civilians. It is part of it, and the fact that these senior military leaders are not there, it may be effective. It's not a final solution for the problem that we have.
So what do you think there is to say then about Netanyahu saying that he won't rule out going after Ali Khamenei?
I think it's part of a warning. It's not. I'm not sure that it is a directive from the Prime Minister. I don't think it's a top priority. It may happen if the Iranians are going to escalate massively. They have escalated already. They escalated in October. They escalated in April last year. And now, after they produced this belt of fire over Israel that was eliminated or at least defunct in the last year and a half, and I think it's part of a warning. I don't think it's a primary strategy of Israel.
And how significant are these strikes on Iranian infrastructure? I mean, Israel says it's destroying missile launchers and other military targets, but Iranians are continuing to launch air attacks. Are they significantly weakened?
I think they are weakened. We don't know yet what is the impact, the true impact and the comprehensive impact. It definitely is part of the strategy that Israel decided to take because of the Iranian closeness, proximity to manufacturing atomic bomb. And I think this Israel, after the warning it gave to Iran and to others, and this is why it is has been justified by the Europeans, by the Americans, that Israel has reached the point where it should have launched this preemption. Part of it, again, is the decapitation of capabilities, of leaders, of scientists. Again, we are in all-out war against Iran because Iran started it.
And there's speculation around now how Washington might get involved, or if it will at all. What's your feeling on this issue?
I don't know. Trump is not very open to what is planning or what the planning of his are. But it may reach a point because the Iranians, up till now at least, up this point, which we know of in the public domain, has not been ready to negotiate in sincere way. They basically rejected the Americans' offer to negotiate. And we'll have to see whether the Americans decide that the threat to the US and to the Western world, because of the Iranian intentions to go for a nuclear weapon, which is not acceptable, neither on the Americans nor on the Europeans. It depends how it's going to take it to the next level. And it also depends on the Iranians, whether the Iranians are going to come to the table and to negotiate, eliminating the nuclear program.
And it's quite impressive to see these kinds of, when you look at the Israeli strikes, for example, on Iran, but also elsewhere, kinds of segments of a residential building being taken out, very precise strikes, obviously not asking in a certain military or technical sense, but how does Israel go about that? It obviously means months of surveillance and things like that.
Israel is not going after civilians as such, unlike the Iranians. The Iranians are going for civilian facilities. The Israelis has attacked Iran sites where military commanders are residing or hiding or their headquarters are. I don't think that Israel is going intentionally on purpose on civilian targets in Iran. We haven't reached this level. And if the Iranians continue to go after civilians, Israel may signal, but I don't think that Israel is looking for any civilian targets because it doesn't serve its interests.
All right, Yoram Schweitzer, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.